Welcome to Tony Martignetti Nonprofit Radio, big nonprofit ideas for the other 95%. You're with me on our live coverage of the Next Gen Charity Conference after party. We're at Johnny Utah's, and my guest now is Jonathan Greenblatt. Jonathan is the founder of Ethos Water, which everyone is familiar with, and his conference topic today was the impact economy. We're going to find out what that is. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Tony, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for taking time. I did not take him away from his drink. He does have a drink here.
I do.
We'll get him back to very shortly.
Which sounds great.
Tell me, please, share with the audience who was not able to come to Next Gen, what's the impact economy?
Sure. So, as you sort of mentioned, I was the co-founder of Ethos Water, bottled water brand that used its profits to fund humanitarian water programs all around the world. More recently, I served as the CEO of Good Magazine and helped scale up that business from a small publishing company to a diversified media business. Mm-hmm. And of late, I started and run a nonprofit called All for Good, which is the largest aggregation of volunteer opportunities ever assembled. So I've had the good fortune to be a part of several successful ventures, either helping to start them or helping to scale them. And so what I've come to believe is that these are interesting, but actually data points on a much bigger trajectory.
Oh, okay.
They are examples of a much larger phenomenon that I call the impact economy, which is the emergence of a capital market for social impact. And what I mean by that is we're increasingly seeing both supply and demand, investment flows, as philanthropists start to look for new ways to drive social good and create and earn a market return. And increasingly smart capitalists are coming to the field who want superior to market rate returns and to generate social good.
So you're bringing economic theory to social causes. This sounds very rooted in sort of fundamental, really, economic theory.
Well, I think what's happening is that this phenomenon is unfolding around us. The supply is estimated now at about $50 billion that's proactively invested in these kind of in the impact field.
Okay.
And you have a remarkable level of demand among entrepreneurs and executives who are starting and running mission-driven businesses. There are probably 40 to 50,000 now across the United States. Some are community enterprises, some are clean tech companies, some are true sort of ethical brands like an Ethos or a Good. Mm-hmm. And I think you're also seeing a spate of hybrid nonprofits. So today we heard from the Taproot Foundation, Idealist, and a number of others. And these tend to be nonprofits that drive earned income, that are not only delivering services to an underserved community, but also creating economic value so they can sustain themselves. And what I believe is that in order for this capital market to flourish, in order for the supply and demand to grow in equilibrium, we need rules of the road. We need systems. We need things like shared language, common metrics, market incentives, and other sort of tools that can help to explode the field.
And you are helping to explore these tools and bring them to people who are starting these causes? Or you're also talking to the people who are active in this work? Well,
I have recently started a program out of the Aspen Institute, which is a sort of a fairly well-known nonprofit in Washington, D.C., that has a long history of thinking about how do we build an enabling environment on various issues. And we're starting to explore how do we create the enabling environment, what is the role of public policy to both catalyze the impact economy and maybe to clarify the market, because in some instances what government can do and should do is allow industry to self-regulate. And rather than allowing that to happen sort of by accident, if government by intention can say, we will look to business and the philanthropists to sort this out, that in and of itself could be very impactful.
Are you having any conversations, trying to start conversations at the different levels of government to
We've been initially
discuss these kinds of incentives?
Well, I don't know that we're quite there yet.
Okay.
But we've been initially funded with some generous support from the Rockefeller Foundation, and we're looking to grow in such a way that we can build a set of policies, recommendations for whether it's folks on the legislative side or the sort of regulatory side at a local or state or national or international level. Think about how do they put together the policies and the programs that can help grow the field. And the nice thing about it is I think this is not a Republican or Democrat issue. I don't think it's left or right or liberal or libertarian. I think this is about job creation. This is about economic renewal. This is about helping to build a society where we all want to live. And I think it's interesting because I hope that we'll have a very bipartisan appeal and lay out a path forward for the country.
So you're committed to following that path. You've initiated this sort of theory, I guess.
Well, I think there are a lot of people already working on this. I mean, I think a better way to describe what I'm doing is trying to cohere a lot of talented people, entrepreneurs and investors and others who are already moving down this path. If I can help elevate the work that they are doing and add maybe a little bit of and help to strengthen that work, my hope would be that it will accelerate the growth of the impact economy.
All right, excellent. Any early conclusions that you'd like to share?
I don't know about that, but I think today the level of interest and enthusiasm amongst the 500 people who are here and the fairly remarkable speakers from across the spectrum, from innovative charities and organizations like Charity Water or Malaria No More, to the companies that were here today like American Express and others, I think reflects the fact that there is tremendous demand, and the very notion of having this at the AXA offices and looking at the financial institutions all over this sort of island suggests that the supply is here too. What now we need to do is to figure out how do we make it easier for those investors and easier for those entrepreneurs to build the businesses, to create the organizations, and to scale them to a level of success. Excellent.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thanks very much. I've been with Jonathan Greenblatt, co-founder of Ethos Water, and our conversation was all about his conference topic, which was all about the impact economy. You're listening to Tony Martignetti Nonprofit Radio coverage of the Next Gen Charity Conference in New York City. We're at the after party, and thank you, and Jonathan, thank you again very much.
Thank you very much.